Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to the Sunday chat.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful July 4th weekend.
Yeah, it's been the same. Uneventful, but eventful. Productive, but lazy.
No, it's
We just stay around the house and do chores.
on all big holiday weekends I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like fighting the traffic and all the other
No.
stuff that comes with it.
Well, I think we were talking about this last week. We live right across the street from where they do the big fireworks for the town and the carnivals here, so it's packed. And across this, there's a dollar store and a little drive. So when they shoot off the fireworks, we can't leave the neighborhood if we wanted to because everything's so jam packed.
Congested is the word.
Yeah, English.
Scotty Aquati, how's it going?
Welcome.
ABC, what's happening? Will you be at the Keystone Clash again this year? Yes, Carrie will be at the.
I'm planning on it. So far, that's the plan.
She will be at the Keystone Clash and Bionic Bigfoot.
I haven't bought my ticket officially yet, so I probably should do that.
Bionic Bigfoot, welcome and thank you. I'm not here today as I was last week, but thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. That is awesome. 25 days post total hip. That is an accomplishment right there
Props
in
to
itself. Without a cane, doing physical therapy 3 times a week. Congratulations. I hope it all keeps going better and better for you. It sounds, if you're doing physical therapy 3 times a week and you're already on a cane 25 days, you are rocking it.
You're a much tougher individual than I.
You are rocking it. Legacy, hello.
Welcome.
Lefty, what's up?
No, Jesse, he's always invited. But I guess I should say, because we left off on the chat last week, that I was accepting applications for new friends, and I didn't get any. So you're still here.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's just me, Lefty, and everybody, no matter what show it is, and it doesn't bug me, but I don't like it either. Like,
I'm not as cool as you, though.
No, you're apparently way cooler, because they're like, "Hi, Carrie, where's Jesse?" And I'm like, he didn't want to come, but I did, so I should be the cooler
I love
person.
going to fish stuff. I really do. It's just I have to hold the fort down, and you are come on, look at you. You're the main attraction. I'm just like a little side thing.
No, you're better at words and remembering things and things like that. So I think you're the more responsible. Maybe you should be the face of this. You look good in pink.
You just need me there for heavy lifting things, purposes. I'm just the luggage carrier. I'm like the baggage boy and the valet. That's what I am.
You're just my friend.
Oh, thanks. Now I'm just your friend. Well, that makes me feel really good. I love you too.
You know, you're my personal support friend.
I love you too. I'm a valet and a luggage carrier. That's
you can love your friends like you can love your better half, right?
Wow. You talk about a stab to the heart. Wow.
Well, you were being mean to me.
This is gonna be. Wow. I can't wait for this chat to go fast. That way we can have a long discussion about renegotiating our relationship.
Well, you have those discussions with me daily, hourly, and by the minute, and you're always picking on me. So I figured I'd get one while I could,
Well, you got one deep. I mean, that one wasn't even a butter knife. That wasn't just like picking.
Jesse's
that
here
was
for
like,
one more. He's here for at least one more chat.
That wasn't even a butter knife. That wasn't even soft. That was just wham.
Well, you should be nicer to me now.
Oh wow! Now I want to go crazy on you.
You already do.
Yeah, you've done started it now.
That's typically how our chats go anyway,
Aqua Garden, hello and welcome.
Welcome to another, I don't know what to call this stream, but thank you for being here.
Bob. Kaylor's Aquatics. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Oh, well, Lefty's going to have to make it to Florida, make it my annual dose, he says. Well, thank you, King of DIY. He's cuter than Carrie anyway. Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
You can't
but
take
I'm not.
No, well, you can't go anywhere in public with him because he knows everybody, and everywhere we go we have to stop, and I just feel like you're just generally more popular than me.
I am not popular. I just try to remember people and talk to people. And I really, since you introduced me to this fish community, when we go to these shows, you know me. I like to go out. I like to talk to people. I like to have a few drinks, mingle with the people.
We're never seen together at the convention.
No, because
ever.
You're
like very rarely, unless we're working at the booth, because you do your thing, and I'm like, I see you all the time, so I'm gonna go do my thing.
You're always talking to the high up people, the wonderful
working stuff.
Yeah, the working stuff. You're talking to all Instagrammers, YouTubers, just big name people. And I go over and I talk to vendors, and I talk to the people that work for the vendors, and
all the people that you help move stuff with.
Yeah, I talk to all those people, and it's more my.
Are you going with me next time then?
I'm more comfortable.
We'll discuss this now. We'll talk. Are you going, or are you making me going by myself?
Which time?
Florida in November.
Oh, you're probably going by yourself. Because I believe my boss has a vacation, and I actually have to fill in for him in November at some point. He's going to see his son that's in the military. So,
is anyone going to Oktoberfest or Fishtoberfest? If I can talk, I'm so excited. Aqua Gardens, and I would like to go, but I'm not going to be able to go. I would like to just go back to the area to see the show, because it sounds fun. And I was born in that state. So I would like to just go see that. You want to go see the redwoods?
The redwoods, yeah. I've never got to see that. As a guy coming from the tree side of stuff, I would I'd be fully immersed in seeing
I don't think they overlap
all the environment.
They don't overlap this year, so maybe we'll talk them into going. Maybe
I would love to see that. That would be so cool for me personally. Now, everybody else, yeah, probably not. I would be enthralled. I've never got to see trees you could drive through.
The few times you've traveled with me, we always have to stop for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just admire trees, which I don't mind. I just can't ever remember one. You tell me over and over and over and over again what they are, and I don't remember. But that's your job, so you're better at it naturally.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff.
And then we always ponder, could you do tree work here? Because we do like it here a little bit.
Well, it would be so cool to I would enjoy to go out to the west and just climb some of those trees just for fun.
I don't think, well, yeah, it'd probably be fun for you, but I think even you would have your limit of how high you would want to, because that's
I want to go. I've been at a maximum of 150 feet.
You're like, I knew you win. Bye.
Well, I've been at a maximum of 150 feet climbing. I would like to go higher, but to be able to get that opportunity, I don't know if I could or not. But boy, would that make a cool, like for you, that would make a cool video. For me, that would make a life experience. It would be totally different.
I don't appreciate high things. And it's not so much the height as it is the falling sensation if I fell from that height.
It's not
And
the fall
maybe
that's going to hurt you anyway. It's that sudden
I
stop.
don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe yeah, you're true. Maybe that's considered the same thing. Like bridges, I can't. I don't even like talking about. I don't. It's the sense of falling that I don't like. And we mentioned that earlier. Like I said before, we live across the street from the big firework display in the town. And that year you had the bucket truck, and we took that bucket truck up super high in that boom.
Yeah, we just stood it straight up and down so we could watch over the top of everything. And we were almost eye level with the fireworks.
It felt like we were eye level for sure. It was almost too much because I was like, if I fell, I don't know. But I just feel like I get that feeling, and I can't. I just don't think I can.
Oh, it's fun. Well, thank you, Lefty. I am just a good old country boy. It's what I am. And Carrie has introduced me to a wonderful group of people that are here right now with us. Fish Fam Link.
Yes.
I mean, it's been so cool to meet people like the King of DIY, Joey. I mean, just to meet everybody, everyone from the little bitty few small channels like Carrie.
The little bitty ones.
Well, but you
still matter.
You still have influence, but all the way up to the big people like John and Jason and Joey.
Yeah.
And when you actually get to talk to these kind of people, talk to them and just talk to them normal. They're just normal people like everybody else. They got everyday problems. They got everyday normal stuff.
Yeah.
And you could sit down and you can find stuff about your fish or plants or substrate or things you never even thought of just in a simple conversation. And that is what keeps me hooked all the time.
Yeah. And the more you learn, the more I realized I should have kept this hobby to myself. No, I'm joking. We like each other, right?
Yeah, sometimes. No, I love you. I do. No, I would never dream to be sitting here doing this with you. You couldn't have. There's no way. There's no way. 8 years ago, you could have told me.
All those times you told me, no more fish tanks. No, this is getting out of control. This is ridiculous. You should not take over every room of the house. Well, now you're for the most part okay with it.
No, I find it very enjoyable. I have a lot of fun with it. And it is a great, wonderful, it's not a hobby. It's almost a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if you don't like this lifestyle, then that's okay too.
Well, you can still enjoy the hobby and not have fish tanks in every room.
No, you can just have one.
And it's okay.
But it will still be, I can see how just one can be your passion.
Yeah. You can make that one look really good.
Yeah. Just that one tank can be your entire like center of your universe. It's super easy to do.
Yeah.
Because now I try to do it with all kinds of tanks. That's the only reason we argue. Because you like the fish and I like the plants.
You do like the plants, but you have hit that stage, and I hit that stage hardcore too, so I can't fault you for it. But it can aggravate me. Where you just want to speed up the process, and sometimes that's when I've made my absolute biggest mistakes, is when I try to rush things. And like I said, I can't fault you. And it is really easy to get so excited about trying everything because everything is so much fun. But in some things, I guess you can a little bit, to an extent, rush a little bit. But sometimes you just got to let it go. Let it grow.
Oh, yeah.
And don't do all the things that I try to do to rush it.
Yeah. Skipper, welcome. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. No, I am at that stage where I want to rush stuff a little bit, but my new stage really is I love bringing in stuff from just that I find that is outside in nature. Just like some of the plants that I've got from creeks and stuff I got going out in the tubs.
We're hoping to go tomorrow.
Just all kinds of different things. I love doing that with just natural stuff and trying to recreate that environment. And I like to start it outside. And if we can bring it in and do it in an aquarium inside, that is really fulfilling to me, because then it really brings the whole thing together as far as the glass box idea of I took nature from outside and I put it in my house and it's still thriving and it looks great and it's awesome. And I'm using all plants and stuff from just around our area.
Yes. And the more I let you do the stuff that you like, the more that you let me do the stuff that I like.
This is true.
Bob said I am an influencer.
Well, yes. And hello, Nathan.
Lefty wants me to do extreme fish keeping and climb Everest with a fish, I believe. That sounds fun, but I can guarantee you I will be one of those that wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it to the top. And if I did make it to the top, I probably wouldn't make it back down. But I would probably give it a shot. I'm one of those people that I'd at least try it.
Well, thank you for subbing, Nathan.
Oh, that's kind. Thank you.
Is that a 20 long on a wire rack? Yes, it is a 20 long on a wire rack behind me.
This one.
I have several of those.
This one's a 20 long. These two, I never can do this right. This one and that one's a 10. This one's a 10. And the ones right below his shoulder.
Yep.
Those are both 20
You can
longs.
get some very cheap industrial wire racks that will hold 20.
This is about as much as I honestly would trust. We've gone recently to the hardware store to price more industrial rack, and they're quite a bit more expensive. So we got to do a little bit at a time to do the other half of this part of this room. But this is about as much as I would trust. And I don't have one that's fully 20 longs. These two that's by Jesse, you can't see them. There's, like you said, there's 20 longs in the middle and 20 longs on the bottom and 10 gallons on the top.
Yeah. Two 20s and then a 10 on top.
Yeah.
They're rated for more weight, but we are not going to push it.
He's tried, honestly, trying to flip 10 gallons, flipping them, but I don't need that right now.
Yeah.
This does me fine. I've had more tanks, but I've kind of down. This is what I can I don't know. This is what I can manage comfortably. And I feel like everything gets my attention properly.
Nice. Now I know I can trust them on my 20s and 10s. I didn't know build or buy a rack. No, you can trust them.
We've
just
had them like this,
really look at the weight ratings on everything.
Yes.
And check out before you even buy them, check out the rack as far as what it's exactly made of, the spacing and everything on it.
Yes.
On the shelf part, that makes a big difference where the bracing is in the shelf and all that to make it structurally more stable. So that's a big thing you want to go with. That's the way I look at it. That's kind of how we started when Carrie got kind of crazy.
I used to just set tanks on things with a hope and a prayer. And it wasn't until that I got into the fish fam that I realized how important it was to maybe put a little bit of concern in what you're putting your tanks on. And for some reason I got by with it, but I tell you some of the things.
But Nathan, if you're new to kind of relatively new, like I am. I'm still new to the fish fam. I'm still new to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely check out the podcast and check out and send it out to anybody else that you know that is new, because that is what I deal with in that podcast is all the wonderful little just things you never thought of. Just little dilemmas. You're like, well, could
all
I?
the things that he hasn't thought of that I've totally messed up.
Well, just little things that are just like you think about by yourself, but you really don't talk to nobody about. You're like, well, can I set that on that? Or will that work? Or can I build this? Or can I do that or that? Well, I've failed a bunch of times because of Carrie's wonderful ideas. I've failed, bad, epic.
Yeah.
And I go into details about like why you shouldn't do this or why you should do this, because I've either made a bad mistake or it turned out epically cool.
Yeah.
A lot of times it turned out
cool ones were my ideas. The ones that turned out bad were his ideas that he just tells people were my ideas.
We're in this together, but I will take all the blame because I am the one that does the heavy lifting and the hardware. So I apologize.
You do. Because no matter how I can know what I'm going to the store for. And I'll still somehow I try. I give it an effort, but I am glad that you can help me with some of those projects because I give it a shot. I'm talented at other things.
You are.
Picking out fixtures I always grab the wrong size. No matter what.
Sandy, welcome. And Whips World, what's up?
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad Sandy's here.
Vibes is here. Welcome.
You can have whatever type of tank you want, no matter who you are.
The best tank is your tank.
That's right. Vibes, what's up?
There's not a tank in here that's pretty. But you know what? I love my creations and all of my guppies. And your arowana, even though you stole my dog and my arowana.
Hey, I had to do a lot of sacrifice for that arowana. I gave up half my dining room for that arowana.
Yep. We got to give up more room soon. But I feel like if we do build that tank, because I feel like that's all we talk about anymore, we should just build it down here so we don't have to move it.
Thank you, Lefty, for backing me up on that. Vibes, happy 4th of July weekend. Yes, please. That is, man, it's a long weekend. I don't know about everybody. Some people do or don't get off Monday. I took off Monday personally just so I could have more time with Carrie in my fish tanks and my outside stuff.
I want to go to the creek so bad that I can like taste it in my soul. I was like, please, if you care about me one bit, can you please take me to the creek? And I want to film a video there for sure, but I just want to go. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do as an American is go to the creek on 4th of July.
Well, in the Midwest, yes. If you don't go to a creek or river on 4th of July, you're not American.
But it will technically be the 3rd, but still it's close enough, you know. It works. But I usually take the little, just honestly, they're aquarium nets just down here in the fish room, and we just hand catch perch usually, look at them, be like, oh, they're so cute. And we don't, there's been one time we brought them home, but that's been one time that we brought them home. And they worked well for a while, but it was when I moved them outside in the tubs that it didn't work so well anymore. But it's fun trying to catch them and then just releasing them back.
Well, I'm kind of enthralled with Nathan right now. I have the standard heavy metal racks couple tanks,
Mm-hmm.
heavy duty furniture, but I want more tanks. So I definitely need a rack or two to create more space first. And I have eight tanks total. Yeah, that's kind of how all this started and kind of became about. And that's why on the other side that you can't see, we have more other built up type racks and tanks.
Yeah. Because I had a fish tank my whole life. My dad had one when I was born, and that's the one that's right over here that we re-siliconed. And so I had went from my parents' house having tanks in my bedroom and his tank, and then my apartment in my 20s, all my apartments, I had a bow front tank that I have over there. And then when I moved in here, I still had the bow front tank. And when I went back to school in college and I was doing that guppy experiment for my research, we had 4 tanks plus all the little fry tanks and that bow front tank. And then from there, it just gradually grew. And now we have,
what she's trying to say comfortably is it gradually got out of control is what
there
happened.
was
it
a point where it was
a
little out of control. And I just I didn't feel like I was giving everything the time it needed because I just had a little too much. So I downsized tank number, but in replace of the smaller tanks, we just got a 55 gallon or the 180 or the 75 gallon. So
we upped water volume and lowered number of tanks.
I think we do have more water volume for sure. We just have less tanks. And then if you count, we have more ponds daily outside.
Yeah.
If you count them, I mean,
yeah, it's gotten
we
a
might
little
be
ridiculous.
getting up to that number again, but the ponds outside are so much easier because I just don't have to maintain them. I don't maintenance them as well. I mean, very little. They kind of take care of themselves, in all honesty. Once we put so many plants out there, and with all the live food and all the critters you can't even see, they just get fat and colorful. And so it's easy to put tubs up because in comparison to the fish room, it's just so much easier. And I tried to get as much time out of the summer as I can with the tubs.
Whip, I'm right with you with what I'm doing the next few days as well, buddy. I'm right there. That's where I'm hanging.
I mean, it is a holiday. I might have a little fun too.
I'm hanging on that level, and Skipper is going next.
Yes. I've had one of those weeks that test you as a fish keeper. You're like, I really do enjoy fish keeping, and I really enjoy and love all my fish, but it seems like I'm just doing more harm than good to everything. So I'm just, but I still love all my fish. It just was really hot. It was just really hot. Some of the guppies, we lost some guppies, but everything's back to normal today.
Yeah, and the temperature is gonna cool.
And I always feel bad complaining because I know there's always like half the chat's like, well, we were 20 degrees hotter than that. So I always feel bad complaining. But we did lose the ribbon guppy, the 24 karat ones that were in here. If you made it this long, we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's just been one of those. I was just sad. It's like maybe they're just better off without me. And then I got mad at you because I was like, well, it was your idea to put them out this week. Then I was like, well, can't be mad at him because you're the one that physically put them out. So it is your fault.
Yeah, I didn't put them out there. You did.
I did. But sometimes it's just easier to be mad at you.
No, that's a good topic though.
What?
Nathan, I don't think you could ever have too many tanks. Bob, Nathan, I've had 80 down to 64. I think it's all what you're going for, what you're comfortable with.
There's always room for more tanks, but it's just whatever. If you are more responsible as a fish keeper and have a higher energy level than me, then you can manage 100 tanks. But for me, I have, I don't know. Sometimes I
for
get tired.
you have 100 projects going at once. Besides the fish tanks,
yeah.
you have 100 different projects going at once anyway.
Right now I
Besides that,
do. It seems like right now, yeah. But generally speaking, those 2 o'clock blues, just take your power nap. But for me, I found my sweet spot, and I honestly haven't counted specifically. I feel like it's like around 25, but I really, for the longest time, I would argue, I just thought the smaller tanks were better and easier. And as I upgraded tank sizes, I realized the larger tanks, there is something there, they are a little easier and you can keep all kinds of things. And I found my sweet spots between having a handful of small 10-gallon, 20 longs and having larger tanks. But the number, he's right. You can never have too many tanks, but you can have that sweet spot where I just feel like everything gets the right amount of time.
There's no neglect. That's been in the chat already. No neglect.
Yeah.
But between Nathan, Lefty, and Kaler's Aquatics, Bob.
Yeah.
Like Nathan's just now, he's always kept cichlids, but getting into some other stuff. Bob, he downsized because of snakes, frogs, lizards. He got rid of some of those tanks.
Don't talk about, I'm mad at a frog.
Got rid of some of those tanks. And Lefty's always kept community tanks and never cichlids. When you find that sweet spot in your world of what you like, and you can get that right size tank, and you can do a community tank, whether it be cichlids or whether it be live bears or whether it be whatever, then that's when you can downsize the amount of tanks you have, but you can grow in water volume. Which is kind of what we did.
Yeah.
We went up in water volume and put more fish in one tank.
A lot of it too was I never had access to anything above that 30-gallon bow front. So when I got my 55-gallon, I thought I was the coolest fish keeper. I think in my town, no one was cooler than me. And then we got the 75 and the 180. So I just really like them. But if I didn't have 5 dogs, a crazy cat, a little one, a bearded dragon, I could manage more tanks. But between the tanks we have, the other animals, you, the kiddo.
Let's just call it life. I'll just sit over here and you can just call me life.
Homework, when there's homework that needs to be dealt with and school stuff and things like that. It just seems like for me right now, this is just what I like. And like you said, nothing gets overlooked. I might have my I won't say lazy, more productive weeks than others. But everything, I'm just really good at growing algae.
And there's some people that are just super focused, super good at it. You got Joey, King of DIY, his small tanks. Now he's building a whole new set of stuff. But before that, like his small tanks are like 180s. That's like his small tanks. And then you got Big Rich. He's got a pond full of fish that no one's ever going to be able to keep. Because
I'd like to, but no.
There's certain circumstances where if you're not in that moment and you're not able to provide and do that for those fish, then you shouldn't do it.
Well, we got a hard lesson on that lesson because I did impulse buy that arowana, and I impulse bought it so badly that I didn't even know. I was like, I thought those were illegal here. I didn't even know what the difference between Like, I had no idea. And he's like, yeah, for $75, you can have that one and the knife fish. And I was like, okay, they look cool. And like, I've watched one YouTube video about it and I liked it. And they look the same. That's how bad. I didn't even know nothing. And he's like, you can keep it in a 20 long for 2 years. Of course. And I was like, well, I've got a 20 long.
Yeah, I made it in that for like a month.
Yeah, like 2 weeks maybe. And by then it went from the 10 gallon to the 20 long to the 55 gallon to the 180. I thought there was a point where it went in the 75, but it didn't. We went from the 55 to the 180. So it grew. We grew together. We got to know each other. I realized exactly what I had. So that's the reason I can say, like, it's fun to impulse buy fish. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to continue to probably do it in the future. But there's a moment between checkout and, like, bagging it that at least look up how big and, like, how quickly. And now, yes, it's like a centerpiece of our family. That's our silver arowana. That's
Well, that's what all of our.
But there was some times, especially moving that fit from the 55 to the 180, we were so nervous on what to transfer just up the steps, just what to put him in, what container, that I think we talked about
because he's not going to fit in a fish net.
I think we talked about it for honestly like 2 weeks, and we were so nervous that we were like, I was trying to film, but everything was just like shaking, and he was shaking, and then we were getting snappy because we were both so nervous. We just wanted him in the tank.
Well, it was very nerve-wracking because I was at that moment in time, I was getting attached to that fish. You
were getting just I wouldn't say you hated it, but you disliked. You weren't happy about the fish tanks, but you were getting into it.
That was the time I was joking about. I named the fish Adam the Arowana, because of my son.
Yeah,
and we were joking about it and all, and I was starting to get really attached to it at that point. And then you were like, we got to move it. We got to get it into this. And I had to enlist people to help me go get the 180 and get it in the house get it set up, do all that. And then it was finally time to move it. And when it was finally time to move it, then I was like, oh man, if I screw this up and mess this fish up, or it comes out, because he was already jumping.
He was quite a bit, like probably half the size now, but he was still over a foot. It's like, what? I don't know.
14 inches or a little better.
I was going to say 15. So yeah, around that. But now but there's going to be a point where we're going to have to move it either to we've got to move it to a bigger tank. So we got to go through it again.
Well, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but Bob, Mr. Kaler's Aquatics, $9.99. Thank you so much, Bob.
That's kind. Thank you.
You are the best, man. Appreciate it so much on this wonderful weekend. And I hope everybody doesn't have to work too much this weekend.
Sunday Funday.
Yeah, it's Sunday Funday.
Monday.
But I know everybody's got weird schedules. It's just the way it is. I know Skipper's got to work. Different people got to do different things.
Skipper's got to be like 4 town officials, the governor, the mailman, and the checkout man of his town,
Bob, I impulse bought by albino plecos.
They're pacus, I think.
Pacus. Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, he bought pacus.
When they were silver dollar size 3 years ago, 14 and 14 and a half inches. Now they seem to have stopped. That seems large.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of the same kind of deal of what we went through with the arowana. You buy them, you're like, oh, I want them so bad. And then you do, and then you're like, uh-oh. Now I got to
Mhm.
figure out how I'm going to house these things.
If I moved my arowana twice, I can't read it on that one. And
She was
due to a third and had not had the whoopsie daisies. Can't read it. My reading skills suck.
she was due a third.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah. Well, I was worried when we moved him just because if
Mm-hmm.
you've ever whipped nose, anybody that's had anything like this knows because there's a lot of fish like this, and some of them are small.
Mm-hmm.
Not, it's not specific just to an arowana.
Mm-hmm.
When they jump and you're trying to
Mhm.
move them, it is like the most scariest thing you can go through as a person that
Just the jump of any sort is just like,
because they can flip out, jump. I'm lucky to only have to had to scoop a few fish off the floor in my time, but it was all my fault because Carrie was telling me, put your hand over the net, put your hand over the net. And I didn't put my hand over the net fast enough. And they weren't very big fish. And that was all my fault. That was all on me. I
Mhm.
take full responsibility.
And always check the fish bag.
And always check the fish bag. All my responsibility. I completely take it. But that's why it was nervous for me to move that big a fish because I'm like, if he jumps, what am I supposed to do with this fish?
Well, that silver arowana is I don't know how to describe it. And obviously I'm not good with words. But he just jumps to get my attention. He just jumps to be fed. He just jumps sometimes because I think he wants to stretch his fins. And so I'll be typing or I'll be working, doing something, and you just hear that water splash. And sometimes it's a little heavier than others. And you can tell that, like, there's ranges of how hard he hits, and you can hear the hardness. You're like, okay, that one, I think he's just might be bored. That one didn't seem like it. And there's other times you're like, man, if I'm scared to walk around that corner, like I know that one hurt and I don't know what's wrong. And sometimes if you just walk around the tank too fast, you're like, oh, really stop. And then there's other times you feed them and you just go spastic and you're like, you're yelling at this arowana like he can understand me, like, just stop jumping, stop freaking out. And so there's different ranges of jumps, and I never experienced a fish like that. And there's different ranges of how much my heart can skip before I physically don't want to go out. Like, I'm like, stop.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cody V, welcome.
Welcome.
Quad Squad, welcome. What up?
Susie.
Oh, Susie's here.
That's Susie.
Oh, okay.
I believe Quads. That's her skating channel. I believe.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe.
No, yeah. Whip Pacus are rough to keep. They're big and heavy bodied.
Mm-hmm.
We have never kept anything like that.
I've seen them. I feel like I don't. I've seen them. I just can't remember where. But I remember thinking, that dang. But I can't remember where I was at. But I feel like it was like a display of some sort. But not personally. Nope. Mm-mm.
Whip, when my arowana was still little, like 12 inches or so, she jumped while I was doing a water change. And that was the only time she hit the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our arowana right now, I guess we're going on an arowana kick.
Why not?
I
would film it more, but honestly, it makes when I get too close to film it, I always call it a he, but he don't like it, so I don't ever film it. So I'm sorry. So we'll just talk about him like he's here. But go ahead.
Q's Aquatics. The real
Oh.
Susie is here. You are correct. No. The arowana, it is now our centerpiece of our dining room. And when people come over to have dinner with us and stuff, everybody wants to see the arowana. Everybody wants to feed the arowana.
Well, you can't help it when you walk around the room and or around the corner. You're like, what?
Yeah,
They never...
and they're all enthralled by the way it swims.
Which I like to watch, but I'm like, please don't touch the glass.
Yes, don't touch the glass. But they want to feed it and they want to look at it and all that, and it's all fine and dandy. But the first time I attempt to show them how to feed it, they wonder why I cock my elbow and I set it on top of half-inch plate glass, because when it knows it's getting fed,
it moves
it will move my elbow up in the air. I have to physically push down on the glass because it hits so hard. And they're like, what are you doing?
It doesn't do it every time, but the time that you don't want him to do that, I'm like, there's people here. Stop.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
But when I'm trying to film or something, like every once in a while, you kind of sneak in, maybe close, and distract him with some food and hopefully get a short. But I don't know. It's just, then he's just like, nope.
Well, I'm pretty sure he or she does it on purpose, because it's only when people are around that it will just, bang.
It is hard. And I feel bad because it'll jump and it doesn't, I don't feel like it's lost any scales, but its nose is always kind of banged up a little bit from it. But when it's like just us hanging out, like I said, he just goes up to the surface and just one at a time, just.
I feel as though he's a little bit, or she is a little bit of a show off, however it is.
Dramatic much. He is your fish.
I have not sexted or not know how.
I remember I looked into it, but I feel like it had something to do with the length of their finnage, but I could be making that up too. It's been a while. I could be really wrong. I don't know.
Ohio Fish Rescue. Yeah. Ohio Fish Rescue has like insane fish. Arapimas. I mean, they got stuff that, again, it's all your situation of what you can keep.
Will you buy me some kind of like zoo facility so I can have, we could do something. We could do the Carrie rescue of all animals.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're gonna need to up your subscriber level.
Will you guys help me share out my videos so I can buy a zoo?
Up your subscriber level. If I'm buying a whole facility, don't get me wrong, I would love to keep like native fish, big fish, large catfish. I would love to do that. But the amount of food, time, effort.
We'll have all animals.
I know. And I know you'd get.
We're starting with that garter snake and that frog in my pond.
Well, that's your fault.
I'm mad this morning. We have 11 minutes. We're gonna let out some steam. I walked out this morning. No joke. I don't mind the pond, the koi pond, and the goldfish. Like it's not large by any means, but it's large to me. There's some frogs in there, and I don't mind them. I even like to listen to them. But I think it's the female. She's large. She's like the size of my hand. She's a large frog. And I don't mind that frog in the pond. However, I do highly mind that frog in my little tiny guppy pond. And like I said, I don't see how I didn't see it at first. But I was like, man, there's a male and female Vienna guppy. So it's just a duo in that tub. And I was like, why are they acting so scared? Like they're in the corner, like freaking out. And I was like, what
How
is
could
going?
they be in the corner of a
They were
a round tank?
I know, but
you find a corner in a round tank. You tell me.
They were hovering, scared, like next to the wall of the tub. Their fins were going crazy. I was like, what? They're curled. The tail was all. I was like, why are they freaking out? What's going on? And I'm looking, and the tub is only probably 30 gallons, but we only have it filled up 3/4 of the way. And that frog was just like, hey, hi, I'm here. And it looked even bigger in that tub. And of course, you can't catch it. I'm just trying to reach my hand in there. I'm like, get out of here. And so finally I caught it. I put it in a cup, and I did put it back over by the koi pond. But it's like, you are perfectly capable of snacking down them guppies in no time flat. And I'm like, thank you for not eating them, but please go. So I have got to figure out a better way to cover them. And in years past, the nets, I had a really fine mesh net that worked well, but the dogs by the end of the summer just have it destroyed, and it's always hanging on by a prayer. So I've got to find something that's just more durable, because
I just came up with it while
good.
you're doing this. I just
that
came up
frog and those was just hanging out, and I don't, like I said, I don't mind the tadpoles and everything. In years past, they've actually been a good food source, but for other things we've had, but I had already lost them guppies. If I would have looked out there and had 2 more guppies missing, I might have lost it. Just been like, today, guys, we're going to try to make me feel better.
Jenna P, Stephen P, how's it going?
Welcome.
Hope you're having a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
Both of you. No, I just had a DIY moment while you were talking about that. It just hit me, and I mean, it hit me hard, and I'm not going to tell nobody about it, not even you.
Well, good. Jenna said my friend went to the store in Rolla yesterday, and I think and took pictures of the store operating without electricity. Yeah, we lost. They were at lost electricity. Our part of the street did not, but it was raining pretty hard. Finally, I was like, rain.
But yeah, RMU lost power.
Or wherever her friend was at.
Apparently in Rolla.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
For an hour or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, luckily we live out enough that we don't have to have that problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to the beach with new local Austin. He says he's lurking. Let's pack up and go.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. All right. We're on the way. All right. Hang on. We got to go.
I want your credit card.
No, I'm leaving. I'm going with him.
No.
Forget you. Finish the stream.
He's in my stream. So
I know.
Therefore, he's my friend. Therefore, it's my invite. And I got to
Who do you want to see more?
Me.
New local Austin?
Me.
I'm out.
Me. Because I got to talk to him at the last Coachella, and I got a hug. You did not. Me.
If that sexy man gives me a hug, that's fine, and I will accept it. But I'm going with him.
No, I'm going. I like the beach more than you.
The only reason you like the beach is just because you like to play Shark Week during the beach and be like, see, now you won't get in the water. No, well, no, not after you show me horrifying things. Like, yeah, go ahead, jump in the water.
I might have planned. I didn't plan it, maybe, but I have always wanted to go to the beach. I got to go to the beach for the first time a few years ago, and it just happened to correlate during Shark Week. And for some reason,
right there, new local Austin. You're both invited.
No, don't invite him.
Ha ha.
I'm cooler in my own head than he is in person. But I love Shark Week, and Shark Week is happening soon.
Aloha.
And it correlated, so I made him watch Shark Week on the beach. And then I was like, let's go swimming.
Well,
And he found
there
out,
ain't nobody in this chat that would want to go swimming after you. And is
he
what
found
is
it
she was
horrifying.
not showing
I found
stuff
it.
that was like nice about the beach
No,
and
it's
nice
like,
about. She was showing shark attacks and people getting mangled and
But-
dying.
it was a dream of mine fulfilled, so therefore you should want to participate. And I thought
I
it was
participated.
Just,
I got in up to my ankles because I was scared to death.
Oh, I found it so enjoyable. I want to go back so bad.
I got in up to my ankles because you scared me plumb to death. I just waited for the little waves to wash over my ankles. That's all I needed. I'm like, I'm not going no deeper.
We have 5
If you go
minutes.
any further,
You know,
something
the
could
best-
kill me.
The best part of that trip was because it was my first time at the beach, and I was acting like a 2-year-old, and I went and I was like, I want some goggles. So I had my little goggles on, and I was out there swimming, and I got up to do something, and I don't know. I did something, and I totally just fell right back down. And the people up at the beach that was sitting next to us started laughing at me. And I mean, it was obvious they were laughing at me, but I didn't care. I was laughing at myself, but I just kept on going. I was like, woohoo! But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun memory. The next one, we're gonna go shark diving during Shark Week. We'll get scuba certified.
I'm with New Logo Austin. I don't go into the water without a purpose after I started fishing at the pier. There's stuff
if you're
in the
fishing,
water.
no, that's a different story. There is no fishing involved.
In the water down there.
I will not go in the morning. I probably will not go in the evening, and I will not go around. If there is people fishing, I might be stupid, but I'm not. There's a level of my stupidity.
Oh, you mean you're gonna slow your roll just a little bit?
But you know what? If I got attacked by a shark or anything like that, I would die of a heart attack before I died of the shark.
You'd be like, happy, I'm going out famous. I can be a statistic.
Just I don't know. I don't feel like maybe you should film it. Her last wish.
Yep, look, she's a statistic now. This is what she wanted. I told her not to get in the water.
Uh-huh. Skipper said, great stream.
Well, thank you, Skipper. And we'll be over there shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And about
you said
3
you're
minutes.
far from stupid. Thank you.
The Office. I've been in the U.S. once, Hawaii, and guess what? Very weak, deep blue.
Yeah, my uncle lives in Hawaii, and I've only talked to him a couple of times, and I had no idea that he had as many tanks as I do, but they're all saltwater. And I messaged him, but he never messaged me back. But he lives in Hawaii, and I was like, man, of all the places to visit, my uncle lives there, and he has a fish house. It comes in my dad's genes, apparently.
Well,
I was like, that would be a cool trip, but
that would be cool. Number one, because we haven't got into full saltwater ever.
I've done really, really, really heavy brackish. That was like teetering on the line of really low marine, but well, I mean, it's just a matter of time.
It is.
We have 2 75-gallons, and out of one of those, we could set something up.
Yeah.
But the only thing I would want would be a lionfish, a pufferfish, or probably seahorses, and I really like the shrimp. Listen. That would be out of all the saltwater stuff that I've been exposed to. That's one of those 4 things would push me into it.
The shrimp for me, because I think the shrimp are just like
They're
crazy cool.
I like the freshwater shrimp a lot. But those saltwater shrimp, I'm not going to lie, they are like, you can see them from across the room. You're like, dang, oh my God. But there's a lot of cool fish that I would want to probably keep. But I know me and what I always go to and what I take pictures of. And like when I'm always like, oh, look, that's what would push. It would be one of those 4 that would push me into it.
Yeah. Go plumb over the edge.
Yeah. But it's 5 o'clock, so is there anything you want to say?
No, I don't think so.
Just mainly thank you for being
Thank
here.
you very much. Hope everyone has a wonderful, absolutely awesome, spectacular weekend. Take care of your aquariums. Like always, we're going to try to. That's all we always do is try. That's all anyone can do. I just try
my best.
Yeah. I think that should be our motto is just try your best and experiment. I think that should be it. Try and experiment. That should be I'll just make a t-shirt. Try and experiment. Because
it reminds me of that kid's book, that choo-choo train book.
Just keep chugging.
But mainly, thank you for tuning in, especially if you're still listening to us, because it's always a crazy mess around here. But I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and the video's coming out this week.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you in the rest of the chats later. Bye.
Bye.